The following program is rated GE. It is suitable for general family viewing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to a new episode of Tech 47, where keeping up with tech is made simple. I am David Ochola, and we have a very interesting one for you today. Last week we talked about land surveying and the importance of tech and the use of tech in that specific field. Today we'll talk about aerial survey and the importance of tech, as you can see, in this field. And welcome to the show. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Solomon Kariuki Njiro. I'm the Managing Director, Geoid Technologies Limited. And I also wear a different hat because I'm a licensed drone instructor. So at times when I'm not doing a lot of management, I also teach people how to fly drones. Okay. And basically that is it.
That's nice. Speaking of drones, yeah, we have a number of drones here and the rest that our viewers will see. What do you guys use drones for, specifically at Geoid?
Well, we have quite a number of verticals where we employ drones. Okay. And the most prominent one, or the main area that we focus use of drone in, is aerial survey. Okay. And we also have another vertical where we use these drones for agriculture. That is after we have done mapping for the crop field, we're able to get some data that we analyze. Then we deploy other drones for spraying, for seeding, and basically we're able to solve some of the challenges that the farmers experience. Okay.
Speaking of aerial survey, just for our viewers who don't understand what that entails, just what does it entail?
Well, aerial survey, I would put it in a layman language as that eye. Okay. Yeah? Assuming you're not able to see all the features of a certain area on the Earth's surface. Yeah, using the naked eye. The drone, since it will be above your head, will be able to show you that other area that you're not able to see. So for me, drones are they're like a third eye.
Okay. So there are a number of things that you do with drones, yeah? You talked about mapping and aerial whatever, yeah? What I'd like to know from you is, what is that procedure like? Say, for example, I'm a client and I come to you and say I want you guys to do mapping for me. What's a procedure like? What's a process like? Could you walk me through that?
It all starts from what we call reconnaissance. Okay. Reconnaissance is a term that, in a nutshell, talks about going to that particular site, yeah, having a look around, yeah. Then remember, now that drones are used within the confines of the Kenyan law, according to Regulation 2020, we have to seek permit, yeah, from Kenya Civil Aviation Authority to be able now to conduct the actual mission. So after we've done the reconnaissance, we get the permit, yeah. Then we get what we call the setting up of the area. We do a bit of land survey, trying to define known areas or known points. Then as we fly, whatever photographs we come up with, yeah, we are able to tie them to the known points on the Earth surface. Yeah. So after that, we come back to the office. Yeah. Those individual photos are stitched together, whereby we get like a blanket, what we call another mosaic. Then that other mosaic is usually a rectified photograph, in the sense that whatever is on the other mosaic, that particular imagery, is the same as what is on the ground. Like if you were to measure the width of a road on the other mosaic, it reflects what the distance is on the ground.
So from a technological standpoint, yeah, I'd like you to tell us how far your industry has come, aerial survey industry specifically, in regards to your tech.
Well, great. So I would want to take us a little bit way back in the 1800s. We had people or various professionals having interest in aerial data, and that goes way back when the cameras were invented, because the aspect of aerial survey is more into the sensor, not into the carrier. Yeah? Back then, after the cameras were invented, people used to tie the cameras on doves. Yeah? Then the dove would be commanded to fly in a specific way. Remember, even doves used to deliver letters at those earlier years. So then later on, we had the Wright brothers invent the aircraft. Okay? So the aircraft again became a sort of a payload, or rather a sort of a carrier for the camera. Now the cameras became bigger and they had more clarity in terms of the output. Now currently we are on drones or the unmanned vehicles. So the same way here we have a drone. A drone is just a carrier. So the sensor is the camera. Yeah. So they are pretty easy to operate. There's less risk because they are not manned, rather they are just unmanned. So and that is basically it.
So what are some challenges that you've experienced working as a drone pilot, especially in Kenya?
Well, what I would say is that there is a bit of lack of sensitization on the regulation, but we are doing our level best as licensed operators in Kenya, so that we are able to inform those people who will be seeing the unmanned aircrafts flying over their head, flying over their properties, to at least understand and relate that we don't mean harm. So some of the challenges is that anxiety from the people who don't really understand why you're using the drones. The other challenge would be on the general awareness of really what the drones are all about. People are not quite versed with this new technology, and really that is also a challenge. Lastly, I would like to mention the cost implication of acquiring the survey-grade drones. They come pretty expensive, and the sensors, or the cameras, are also pretty expensive to acquire. So apart from that, I think it is an area that we are very much excited about, and we're interested to see where this will take us.
Speaking of expense here, I was wondering, what are you people at Geoid doing for the everyday kind of person who would want to get into this field? Just to make it more affordable for them, do you hire equipment out? Do you do all that? If say I'm someone who wants to even learn how to fly a drone, do you people do that here?
Well, I would like to just take us a little bit back on what Geoid in the drone industry does. Yes. We are approved resellers. And approved, I mean KCA has done our background checks on us, and they have permitted us to resell drones. So one, we can resell you a drone that is properly registered, and I will be talking about registration because it is also something I also want to mention. Number two, we have a permit to operate drones commercially. Yeah? So that allows us to fly drones where the authority deems fit for us to do so. Lastly, we also train people on how to fly the drones so that they become licensed by Kenya Civil Aviation Authority. So in that sense, then it means that we can make you a pilot. Yeah? We can offer you the service if you cannot afford the drones, or we can sell you a drone if you can be able to afford.
Yeah. You wanted to say something about registration.
Great. So as you understand that the airspace is not just meant for the unmanned vehicles. We also have airplanes, we have helicopters that are usually manned. Yeah? So whenever we're talking of drones sharing an airspace with a manned aircraft, we are talking of lives. Yeah? Then that means that we have to operate in a safe manner, and that's why we are emphasizing that a person who is gonna assume controls for a drone must be knowledgeable on how to respect the airspace.
So are they supposed to be registered? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And does the government do that?
So KCA is mandated to kind of be the overseer for the airspace. The responsibility is to ensure safety in aviation. Yeah? So what they do, first of all, is that once the drone comes in the country, it is given a unique identifier, like the one that we have in here. This is 5 Yankee 0364 Alpha. That drone is known, or rather is registered by the Kenyan government, and it is known as an aircraft. That is a specific reservation for that. It is a number plate, for that matter. So number two, the person who is going to fly the drone needs to be trained by a school like ourselves. Yeah? Like Geoid Technologies offers those training for users. Okay? So after that, Kenya Civil Aviation Authority comes and assesses whether this person is competent. Then he or she is awarded a license, which now allows you to fly the drone within the Kenyan territory.
I find this to be quite an interesting topic, and especially the way you've broken it down and said there's a number of different drones that are actually used for different purposes. That is what we'll be talking about after the break, I believe. Yeah, you'll be digging into what does what and what sizes of drones, because I'm meant to understand they also come in different sizes and, you know, purposes, yeah? Sure. Thank you so much. You want to stay around. Don't even touch that remote control because we are coming back in just a bit right after this break. Welcome back to Tech 47, where keeping up with tech is made simple, and we are continuing our conversation about aerial survey using drones. Yeah, what you see right here in front of me is not a generator. Relax, this is a drone. Welcome back, Solomon. So take us through what we have here on the table, and like what drones they are and what they're used for.
Thank you so much, David. I want to start with the smallest one that we have here. Okay.
Yeah.
Remember we said that drones have got numerous uses.
Yes.
And one of the uses is that we have now taken photography from a vantage point.
Yes.
Yeah. This drone can be flown, yeah, and can capture very nice clips from an aerial point of view. Okay. Those are the same clips that complement the cameras that are used on the ground, yeah, to be able to give it, you know, a feel from the third eye. Yeah. So this is just a small drone. It's a Mavic Air 2S. And it is used for filming and photography.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I want to go to the second kind of a drone, and this one is, as you can see, a bit bigger,
yes,
than the latter. And this one again is used for the same purpose, yeah, filming and photography. Okay, but it can be used for mapping. Okay, but it is a bit older in generation when it comes to generation, because you have to do some more work, unlike the one that I'm going to show you next, whereby you don't need to do a lot of work. Okay. By work I mean for this one to be able to give you the other mosaic that I talked about, yeah, that rectified blanket of an aerial imagery. This one you need to do a lot of controls. Control points, I mean you need to know, or rather to have more than 10 known points for you to be able to get that image corrected. Okay. But as we advanced in technology, we have more sophisticated drones that are coming in form of drones on board now the RTK, yeah, or on board GNSS. So this drone is a survey grade drone. It's called a Matrix 300.
Okay.
Yeah, RTK. The word RTK means real-time kinematic. Okay. So as it does capture the photographs, okay, those photographs are geotagged. Okay. They have an actual ground reference, in the sense that if I process that photo, it will fall where the ground is, really. Okay. Unlike the smaller drone, whereby if I do a photo, it is just a still photo. Yeah. I'll have to relate or correlate that photo with the ground by doing some further corrections in the office. Okay. So the drone that is survey grade, the Matrix 300, does not require one to really do a lot of corrections. Okay, yeah. The corrections are happening in real time. So this makes this drone more sophisticated and more, survey grade.
Yeah, you know? And expensive as well.
And expensive for that matter.
Yes.
So basically, I want to remove the emphasis from the drone, because the drone is just a vehicle. Yeah. You know,
yes.
The drone is just meant to carry the camera that is down here. Yes. Okay, this is what we call a gimbal. Okay, so this camera is where, this is the center stage of surveying, okay, because this camera is able now to do photos, yeah, oblique photos, yeah, or it is able to do photographs from up above there, and the photos will come geotagged because the vehicle has got a GPS on board. You know?
Okay.
So
that
these photos,
explains the size?
Yeah.
That explains the size of it.
Well, the size is more into carrying the camera, which is the payload. Okay. If this camera is a 2.7 kilogram camera, it requires a heavier vehicle to be able to carry it around as the mapping is happening. So I want to now correlate this a little bit bigger drone with this one. Okay. We are still on survey, all right? So we are doing survey to be able to get data. Yes. After we get this data, we analyze the data, and we are able now to get what we call a decision-making information. Yeah. So in that sense, I want to now look at this drone and the camera, yeah, from a different light. This drone can have detachable camera. You can install this camera, okay, which is RGB in nature. You can install another camera, which is multispectral in nature. You can install another camera, which has got thermal capacity. I want to focus on the camera that can be installed there with multispectral capacity. So here, when you're talking of multispectral, we are talking of various bands that one is able to visualize after you process those photographs from the field. Okay? I want us to take an example of a 100-acre piece of land where you planted maize. Okay? So the maize from human eye will be all green.
Yes.
Right, together.
Yes.
But if that camera flies the fields, yeah, then you come back with those photographs. Okay? You'll be able to see much more detail in reflectance.
Yes.
Yeah? You'll be able to see bands that the human eye cannot comprehend when you're looking at the maize from the ground. So those bands are the bands that inform if this particular crop or this particular area in the field is suffering less water, is suffering from fertilizer. There would be pests that are about to invade. Okay? The eye will not tell, but the multispectral camera will be able to pick that, and you'll be able to take action as a farmer way before the infestation for pests happens, way before the particular area dries up, okay, or way before the need for fertilizer is manifested in the crop. We're together. So that's how now this drone that is used for survey will collect that multispectral data. Then, after we analyze the 100 acres, yeah, okay, we realize that maybe a point or a portion, 5 acres, have got a fertilizer deficiency. What do we do then? So we just take up this big drone, it's called a sprayer drone, and we now deploy it to solve that particular challenge. There is no fertilizer here from the analysis, from the multispectral analysis. Okay? So what we need now to do in that 5 acres field is spray a fertilizer, okay, in liquid format or in granule format. Right, together. So this drone will be deployed to not spray the whole 100 acres, but to spray precisely or targeted area 5 acres. So that again saves the farmer a lot of farm input, a lot of fertilizers and all that. And he is informed precisely. There's targeted spraying.
Okay. For how long does this big drone fly?
Well, it does like 15 minutes.
Okay.
And within that 15 minutes, you'll have captured, let's say like, you've done like your 8 acres. Okay.
Oh, in 15
minutes you have sprayed 8 acres. And like human, who will take 5 hours, or rather we will spray 5 acres to spray the whole day.
Yeah.
With the one that you usually attach at the back, the knapsack sprayer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Moving around, and of course, exposing that particular human being to the chemicals, because we're spraying chemicals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this drone will be remotely operated, so you'll be far away from the spray.
How much liquid can it carry?
Great. So they come in different size. This particular one is called the XAG P40. P40 has a tank that is able to carry 20 liters, as you can see. It carries 20 liters. So then we have the V40. It carries 15 liters. Yeah.
Okay. What powers these drones? Especially the big ones. I think the smaller ones usually assume, yeah, it's going to be battery. Is it the same case?
Well, it is pretty much the same. And this drone is also powered by a battery. Okay. Oh, this is the size of the battery. It's pretty big. Yeah. It is what we call a LiPo battery. A LiPo battery in the sense that the battery is intelligent. Okay? An intelligent battery will tell you how much power is remaining, considering that you're operating this drone from a remote position. You're not near the drone. So you don't have time to kind of check how much power do I still have. All you need to do is, using your remote controller, you'll be able to see, oh, I have 20% of battery left. So that is the time that you call in the drone back so that you can land, either replace the liquid tank and move on with the mission.
Is that where the artificial intelligence comes in, you know?
Well, so...
because I'm meant to understand one of these has AI as a form of control, or you can control it using AI, no?
Well, when you talk of drones and robots,
yeah,
we are basically talking about AI. Yeah. And I believe you've gone through the industrial revolution. Yes. Yeah, there was the first industrial, second, third. Now we are on the fourth industrial revolution. Yes. And the center stage for fourth industrial revolution is bots and artificial intelligence. So yes, this drone uses a lot of AI, Because let's say, for instance, you have the crop field in a mountainous area, okay? So this drone has the capability to follow that terrain, to trace the terrain, okay? Like if you want to spray the crop, maybe 3 meters above the crop, you can maintain that 3 meters even if the area is mountainous. So this drone will be able to follow the terrain and maintain a 3-meter height above the crop.
Okay, yeah. Are we going to talk about those ones and highlight those?
Well, this is more of capacity than anything else. This is a matrix 300 RTK from DJI.
Yeah.
That is a matrix 300 RTK from DJI. Remember I told you the beauty with this drone is that you can attach and detach the payload. Payload, I mean the camera or the sensor. Are we together? So this one is having a thermal camera. That one will have a LiDAR camera, okay? And another similar drone will have a different sort of sensor. So the vehicle is pretty much the same. It is survey grade, but they serve the same purpose.
So if I'm someone who wants to learn how to fly drones, Geoid is a place to be.
Well, definitely, and as you can see, I'm a bit decorated. By all means, the 4 bars means that I'm an instructor, certified and approved by KCA. So I'm able to train people within Geoid school. We have a drone academy and have them licensed like myself in readiness for them to fly without having to watch their back, because there is a regulation. Yes.
Give or take, how long does it take to learn how to fly a drone?
Well, I'll do it in 2 phases. There is compliance, training to be licensed. Okay. Training to be licensed takes 2 weeks. The first week you'll cover the theory, okay, whereby you'll talk about the airlaw, radio telephony, you talk of navigation, you talk of human performance, because these are important topics to cover for them to be able to align you with the airspace. Okay. After that, within that week, you sit an exam, whereby you're expected to excel or pass by 70%. Once you certify the examiners that you've managed to excel by passing or getting a pass mark of 70%, then you are recommended to go to the ground training. That is a GFT, where you will interact with the drone. Okay, you'll be shown the various components, like the propellers, the motors, the airframe. You'll be shown how to inspect all these features of the drone. You'll be told how to go about the best practices when you're flying. And again, after you build 5 hours of training, you are now fit to be recommended to a DFE. A DFE is a designated flight examiner. He is appointed by KCA, or he comes from KCA. He comes and checks, has this guy gotten the theory aspect, like an oral exam? Is this guy flying safely? Once he is able to certify that, you are recommended for licensing. So 2 weeks, you get your license. But when it comes to operating now drones for various uses and application, I believe for you to be able to excel in the surveying field, it is critical to have a background in surveying, because what are we surveying? We are surveying the land, but from an aerial position. So if you don't understand how the earth or how around surveying earth works, it will be pretty much complicated to be able to catch up. However, we have tailor-made courses that allow now people to be trained on various applications. Let's say surveying and mapping, let's say agriculture, where we talk of spraying more, let's say filming and photography, the best shots to take, let's say inspection of power lines, inspection of telecommunication towers. So those are specific trainings that will take a bit longer, because here you have to get the aspect of photogrammetry. It's a course that is trained in school. So as a surveyor, I had to do like 5 years of training to be able to go through surveying, all manner of surveying, hydro, land survey, and aerial survey. So now getting someone to get into that level requires rigorous training. So that one does not have like a time limit. You have to do it continuously, do it with other people who are experienced until you get there.
So what do for those of us who have been watching, and they'd like to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, I think you can get us on social media platforms. We are on Facebook, Geoid Technologies. You can get us on Instagram, Geoid Technologies. We are also on LinkedIn, Geoid Technologies, and we also have a YouTube channel, Geoid Technologies. But for those people who would like to give us a call, my number is 0726 884 224. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us and for sharing all this knowledge with us. It has been an exciting episode of Tech 47. Remember to tune in next week, same time, same place, right here on TV 47. And just so you know, if you don't see it on Tech 47, that's because it technically did not happen.